Okay, here we are with part 2 of this series of videos. This is a real simple process. This is just to rack off into secondary. The lager kit has had its 10 days in the primary, and it's now ready to be racked into the secondary fermenter. I have taken a hydrometer reading and it's where it should be, and this is basically just to rack it off the original sediment, and it helps the beer to be clear. The instructions do list this step as necessary, and the Young's rep did tell me that it does help to get real minimum amount of sediment in the bottles after you've bottled it and it's cleared. So let's get cracking. So here we go. Just got to try and make sure my end stays in the bucket. Away. Looks fairly clear coming out the pipes already. There is foam in the bucket, that's from the start, Sam. Foam is good, don't worry about that, won't hurt it at all. So that's all there is to this step. But it does list it as necessary instructions, so I thought that I should show you this step and not skip it out. As I say, it does help to get really clear beer, and with this being a lager kit, then clarity is especially important. Again, always make sure that the secondary vessel that you're fermenting it into is thoroughly cleaned and sanitised. You don't want to get any infections in your beer at this stage, it'd be such a shame. And that's it, we're just going to let this fill up and then leave it for another few days. Okay, so there we are, that's all transferred from the primary into the secondary, and now it's just a case of taking our sanitised lid, which has gone a bit banana shaped, tuck it down nice and tight. Always important to make sure you've got clean washed hands when you're doing this, and then take your clean sanitised airlock, push that in, and that's it. What you need to do now is put that down there, take your secondary fermenter and put it on a high side or somewhere that you're going to be able to rack off from at the end of the secondary. The reason is because if you put it somewhere low and then you're going to have to move it when you want to siphon that off into your keg or your bottles, and then there's obviously the risk of disturbing the sediment again, thus making your beer cloudy again, and you've basically got to start secondary all over again. So leave it somewhere high, and then you're ready to rack off into your keg or your bottles. So see you again when we come to kegging.